Welcome in. Gabe D. Armand here with PowerMizzou.com, and we have reached the end of the road here. This is Hangin with Mookie Cooper, our weekly show with the Mizzou sophomore wide receiver, originally from St. Louis. And when we first started talking to Mookie, we agreed on 10 episodes. This is episode number 10, so this is going to be it. At least for now. Who knows what may happen in the future, but at least for now, this is our last weekly talk with Mookie. This one's going to be a little bit different. You'll see why here in just a second. But before we get to that, I want to get to the important part, and that is the guys that have made this thing possible over the last 10 weeks for you guys to get a peek into Mizzou football in the offseason, the life of a player, and everything that Mookie has kind of allowed us to get a peek at over the last few weeks. That is the Bruning Law Firm, a personal injury firm in St. Louis, Missouri, founded by a father and his two sons, all huge Mizzou fans, all supporters of PowerMizzou.com. And when we approached the Brunings at the beginning of this year about this idea, they were really excited to have a chance to work with Mookie and to be a part of this show. So we appreciate them doing so. You can visit them at bruninglegal.com. You can call it 312-736-7643. If you go to that website, you can do an online consultation, just kind of the initial steps of, hey, here's what's going on, and find out if maybe Bruning Legal is going to be able to help you with your situation. So as we have said really all year long, we hope, honestly, that you aren't in need of assistance from Bruning Legal. But if you are, or if in the future you find yourself maybe in that position, we certainly hope that they are the first people that you check out. Again, bruninglegal.com. Their logo is going to be in the top corner of your screen throughout this show and has been over the first 9 episodes. So with that, let's get to it. The very last one with Mookie Cooper. All right, welcome back to episode number 10, the final episode of Hanging with Mookie Cooper here on PowerMizzou.com. You may notice there is one extra person here that is not Mookie Cooper on the other side of the screen from me. That is, look, when we started this, Mookie, I told our guests this. I said, when we started this, the people on Power Mizzou said, you got to get Mookie's mom on a show because they love your mom on Twitter. She's the biggest Mizzou fan on Twitter. So we're bringing in Mookie's mom, Danita Gibson, here on this episode. And Ms. Gibson, appreciate you joining us and you know, seeing behind the operation here.
Glad to join you guys. Yay.
So the first thing before we get to all this, I just got to say, Mookie, every single person should have their number one fan be their mom, man. Like that. That's I'm sure you know how cool a thing that is, right?
Hands down. My mom been my number one fan since I started football.
So that's where we got to start with you, Danita. I think if I remember back to like the first episode, I think Mookie said that you were the one who like encouraged him to start playing ball. Is that right?
That is correct. Mookie was really good at dancing, so his dance moves were like off the chart. I just wanted him to do something with his moves. And football, I'm a huge football fan, so football was like the first thing I got him into.
So Mookie, I think you kind of mentioned that, but I didn't realize. So where do you show off the moves now, man? Like you say, you don't go out in Columbia.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, my girlfriend probably get the biggest concerts. That's kind of where I be dancing. A little bit in the locker room on some playing stuff, but I'm too cool right now. So like I'm most comfortable around her. So she probably see the most dancing right now.
I mean, like, look, if anybody's watching this episode, there's another name, image, and likeness deal here, Mookie. Like you got another pathway there.
Oh me.
So Danita, like, when did you tell us about him playing ball early on? Like when he was a little kid, was it, you're a huge football fan. You were telling me before you started, you just love the game. So tell me about watching like 8-year-old football. And did you kind of think pretty early on, hey, I think he might be good at this?
It started off being very comical because there was like a bunch of little bitty kids running around in two big uniforms, and they had no structure or anything like that. But once they kind of got to understand the game and they started playing, I'm not just saying this because he's my son, but he kind of caught on real quick and he took it and ran with it. He was really good out of the gate.
Now, no structure. One thing we've learned from Mookie is that your house, you had some structure there. You were a single mom raising Mookie and other kids as well. So just tell me about, kind of the way that everything you had to kind of deal with in raising kids on your own.
Just pretty much number one, expressing how important school was. So, we made sure that we got to bed on time. We made sure homework was done. We made sure chores was done. And also we just made sure that we had family time to sit around together and laugh and joke. I was really, really hands-on with them. So it was pretty much us, so I just made sure that I had structure, that they understood the responsibility of just keeping a clean home, raising 3 boys and 1 girl. Boys are boys. So I had to get them on top of their A game with making sure that their room is clean, they are clean, and everything else. So
Mookie, when mom's off at work, because she's got to raise 4 kids. When mom was off at work when you were growing up, who was in charge?
My big sister. It was my big sister in charge, but I was the youngest, so like I threw like the temper tantrum. So I say I was in charge, because if I was mad, I kind of was try to yell at everybody, but I was the one getting whoopings the most from my big sister. But
yeah. He always felt if it wasn't me telling him to do something, then he didn't have to do it. You're not my mom. That was his favorite. Not my mom.
There you go. So, but I mean, like, I'm sure there were a lot of times that you and your brothers and sister are kind of home on your own. I mean, does that mean you guys kind of grow up faster? Do you think it taught you some responsibility?
Yeah, we kind of, I say, outside of responsibility, it taught us how to like lean in with each other. Like my mama was going at work or whatever, somebody got to make sure they cooking, somebody cleaning up, somebody, just doing something else, but kind of just brought us together for real more than growing up faster.
Yeah, and Danita, we've talked in the past with Mookie some about growing up in St. Louis, and look, a lot of kids obviously come here from St. Louis, and some parts of it are easier than others, but just what were the challenges and the worries you had, raising your kids, and maybe not being able to be there all the time?
Something happening to them. Mookie had a situation before where he was faced with a very traumatizing situation as a kid. So, I was just more so just worried about making sure that they was safe and didn't, hang around the wrong crowd. I was very, very, very picky about their friends. I made sure that they hung around kids who had the same goals and, just making sure that everybody stayed on track and just didn't get around the wrong crowd, because St. Louis is real rough. It's very rough, and it's very easy for the streets of St. Louis to eat a child alive. So, as a parent, you just have to be involved and you have to love on your children, because if you're not loving on them, and that's with, boys or girls, they'll go seek that love from elsewhere. And so, I just made sure I loved them and protected them. So, yeah.
So Mookie, when you're like a 14, 15-year-old kid in high school, do you kind of think, hey, this is my mom's looking out for me, or are you kind of thinking, man, it's strict around here?
See, you saying when I'm 14, 15, I got 2 answers. See, when I'm 14, 15, I'm thinking like, yeah, my mom, she's super, she's strict, she doing too much. Cause I'm just now like getting that age where like I'm in high school, I'm trying to be cool. So like I want that freedom, you know what I'm saying? But now that I look back at it, you know what I'm saying, I thank my mama for that. And you know what I'm saying, I know it came from a good spot. Cause if you look at all these other kids or whatever, you know what I'm saying, the ones with the most freedom and get to be out the most late, you know what I'm saying, not too much good happen after 12 o'clock. So
yeah. So I want to ask both of you this and answer it either way, but what part did football play in kind of helping Mookie have a path, and then obviously it ultimately landed him in college where, Danita, I know you wanted him all along, but what part of your guys' family was, how big a part was football games and sporting events and just built around that?
Football was everything. I used to call it me and his brother played also. So I used to call it date night. It kept them with something to do. It kept them around positive men. And it also is something that can, change their lives. They enjoyed it. It wasn't forced upon them. So, even with me being a kid, I did everything as a kid. I stayed at the Boys and Girls Club. It was Matthew Dickey's for me. So I kind of went off of how I was raised, cheerleading, gymnastics, tracks, tap dancing, ballet, you name it. So I just always knew that, they was going to do something. Yeah.
Mookie, was your mom driving you to every game? Was she at pretty much all your games growing up? Do you remember that?
Most definitely. My mom took me to every game. She took me to probably 98% of practices. If she didn't take me, it was probably like my cousin or somebody that I rode with or a coach. You know what I'm saying? But my mom was there through everything, like every tournament. I probably count on one hand literally how many games she missed my whole career of football, like one hand. And it's probably like two or one or no. I don't even know if it's one for real. Maybe at O State. But
I miss Georgia because I didn't think you was gonna play.
So Georgia. See, that's like outside of that, but my mom was there the whole way, man. She was like I said, she was my number one supporter, and yeah, that's kind of how it was.
So I know, look, my kids played sports all through high school and into college. There's two kinds of sports parents, right? There's the ones that like you never really know they're there. And then there's the ones that everybody knows they're there. So Danita, I want to know what kind of fan you are at a game, and then we'll see what Mookie thinks.
Gabe, I'm there. I'm there. Even from when he was little, and I never sat down. So I always would stand at the fence. And whenever he took off running, I took off running with him, and I let him know, don't look back, just keep going. It was just like I was his moral support. He always looked up. He had to find me to make sure that I let him know that I was there, and I let the whole stadium, the whole team, the other team, and everybody else around, they knew Mooster's mom was there because I'm going to turn up. When my baby turn up, I turn up with him.
All right, now, Mookie, if you're playing an SEC with 60,000 people in the stadium, you probably can't hear. I don't know. Maybe you can hear your mom, but I'm sure playing in JFL games and playing in high school, you know exactly where she is and you can hear her, right?
You know exactly where she at. Everybody know exactly where she at. You know what I'm saying? Before the game, I normally try to find where she's sitting at, whatever. It's kind of harder in college now, but you most definitely hear her and you see her running and all that. But actually, the Army game, the bowl game, Army. I heard her yelling Army game. I literally heard her yelling Army game. So she be loud for sure. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna be mad when she yelling or whatever, but don't nobody care about that.
So look, I know a lot of guys like have a certain ritual. If they make a big play or something, they'll look up in the stands. You make a big play. Do you look up and find your mom?
Used to. Right now this season, or whatever. But that's kind of for the most part.
Yeah. So outside of Danita, you're a big football fan, but man, like, there's a lot of parents out there who are like, I don't know if I want my kid to play football. Is it nerve-wracking watching your son play? Especially, I don't know if you've noticed Alabama and Georgia. Some of these schools got some freaks out there running around.
See, that's where his speed comes into play. You don't want to hit, get up out of there. Go, go. At first started, it took me some time to get used to not climbing the gates and running out there. At first, I was real bad at that, but then I had to trust the process, and let type off. But at first, yeah, I was running out there, everything when he was little. But now it's just like, okay, he's gonna be okay. I go into prayer mode and I let everything else just work itself out.
All right, now we're going to go in reverse order here. We're going to let Mookie answer this one first. So during the games on social media, we know your mom is hugely supportive and all that. You go home after a game. Is she telling you what you did good, or is she like coaching you up on what you messed up?
No, she gonna start off. You know how we go right after to the fans or whatever. She gonna tell me everything good or whatever. But at the end of the day, she still be trying to tell me I need to toughen up. I need to play hard. I need to go do more, even if she don't even understand what my role is or how can I do more. She always trying to tell me what I can do more at. So I kind of get both advice back.
Yeah, mom, is it important to focus on the positive first?
It is, because I got to get on his good side.
Okay.
Especially if it was a bad game or something. So I don't want him to never feel like I'm attacking him. But that's just our relationship. I kind of play the role of a mother and a father. So it's just the same if it was a father. I put my man draws on sometimes, and sometimes I stick to my woman thing or whatever. But when I'm straightforward with him, and if I'm, I feel like he could have did something different, I go into my coach mode. Never coach, never play, never did anything. But I just try to, work hard and just be the best. That's all.
There you go. Yeah. And now one of the reasons I think people have enjoyed this show, and because they've gotten to know Mookie, because he's been real honest with us and kind of told us his story from high school, and then his year at Ohio State and how tough it was on him and his decision to move back. So look, every parent thinks their kid should play every game, right, and play every play and all that, but what was that year like when he was in Columbus and he wasn't playing and he was having a hard time off the field? How hard is it? He said he called you a couple times and said, yo, you got to come pick me up.
So for me, I had to get used to that because I never attended a game and he did not play. Even when he broke his hand or something, he had a cast on his hand and he was still playing. So it took some getting used to. I did not let that keep me from supporting him, though. Planes, trains, automobiles, Greyhound buses, you name it. I was still there supporting him. I didn't want to focus on it because I didn't really want him to focus on it because it's the next level. So you can't go into expecting this, whether you're told that or not. It's a business. So you just have to be patient with it. So I kind of like I was telling you, even before we started recording, I always played backfield once he got to college because it's all about what he wants and, how things are making him feel. It's not about me at this point anymore.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mookie, I don't know if we talked about this when we did the show about you transferring back. When I'm sure your mom had a pretty good idea before you let everybody else know where you were going to go. But when you told her you wanted to come back to Mizzou, what was her reaction?
I think she was just on some stuff like, am I sure? Because for real, for the most part, as I remember, one of the concerns was just like being close to St. Louis and being around St. Louis or whatever. That was just one concern. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, if she was just like, if I made sure that I could stay on track and stay focused and not want to be back there weekend, she'd be cool with it. But it was really all decisions kind of was whatever. If I chose Clark Atlanta University, I don't even know if they got a football team, but she would have had a comment about it, but she still would have supported it. But that's kind of what it was, really.
But now that he's back, Danita, hour and 45-minute drive down the highway, it's a little nicer than having to go cross country every weekend, isn't it?
It is. It really is. And I don't admit it's even if I just want to go see him and get a hug, I can just drive up and go get a hug, bring him some groceries, bring him some household supplies or whatever the case may be. But just to kind of go back to the question that you asked him about the decision with coming to Mizzou. To be honest, I was the last to know because he know I can't hold hot water. So he didn't want me to spill the beans and start telling other people, other family and things like that. Mm-hmm. I kind of was like pushing for Mizzou. We have family in Columbia and everything. So, and it's close to home. But yeah, I was the last to know. I was happy when he told me though, because I'm like, oh, where I could see you whenever I get ready, because I went through separation anxiety and the emptiness syndrome when my baby left. So I was missing him. I was in the process of transferring my job to Ohio. Like I was ready to go up there so I can be with him because it was like I couldn't let go.
So I'm curious. I know I've seen you. Dominic Lovett's mom sometimes is up a game. Kiki Chisholm's mom last year would tweet all the time. I think fans would be interested to know what's game day like for the parents. Do you guys all kind of like get together for a while beforehand or not?
We have a blast. Mm-hmm. One thing I can say about football, you meet some very, very, very nice and loving and like-minded people, like even with Ohio State to Mizzou, from JFL. Like I love my football moms. We get together, we eat, we drink, we party, we just have fun. It's not always about, even though we're there for football, we shop, we do good girl things. It's like my sisters. I always call them my sisters because we have a good time.
Now, Mookie, look, there's a lot of guys that are from a lot further away than you. Obviously, their family probably doesn't travel to every game. So your mom strikes me as somebody who she might be kind of like a team mom, right? Like there might be some other people that come over and hang out with her after games.
Yeah, she is. I say she is too. It's some guys on the team, like she might not even know their name after the game. She yelling at them, telling them good job, want to get a hug, want to tell. You know what I'm saying? But she real cool. She real cool with everybody.
Yeah. So I guess just kind of last thing, I want to wrap it up and I mean, thank both of you for doing this one, certainly. But Ms. Gibson, just everybody that watches this and enjoys following you on Twitter, I know, and I think would want me to let you know that how impressed they've all been with Mookie and getting to know him during this show, and I'm sure proud mom just being able to watch him grow up now that you're used to him not being at home.
Very proud mom. He's growing into a phenomenal young man. He's very independent, very self-sufficient, very respectful. I couldn't be more happier. He's on track. He's focused. His entire demeanor has changed since he's been to Mizzou. And, I feel like I can cut the cord in a sense because I trust him. And I know that he's going to make all the right decisions because he has done it his whole entire life. He made one little hiccup in high school that cost him his season, but adversity builds character. So he learned from it. And, I'm proud of you, baby. I love you.
and Mookie, I just want to say to you, man, truly, when we started this thing, I had no idea what to expect because, hey, some guys talk a lot, some guys don't talk a lot, but I know the fans have really appreciated you being open and honest and kind of a chance to get to know you. I know you've got a lot of people out there who might not have known a lot about you, who are certainly rooting for you this year, but I mean, this is, at least for now, unless we pick something back up in the fall, this might be your last chance to show off the dance moves if you want to do it. So,
all right. I appreciate everybody too, but I'm gonna have to decline that offer. I might leak a video on Twitter, tag you in it or something, but I'm not gonna jump up and dance right now.
Okay. First time in the end zone next season, though.
Yeah, for sure. I got you for a celebration for sure.
Yeah, I'll explain the 15-yard flag to Drinkwitz on Tuesday.
It better be good.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, both of you for joining and appreciate it. And like I said, I know a lot of people be watching, and I don't know, Mookie, they'll let us talk to you guys again in about 5 months, so we'll see you then.
Thanks for having me, MIZ.
DOU.
So there you go, episode number 10 with Mookie Cooper and with his mom as well, Danita Gibson, and appreciate both of them joining us. Hey, like I said, it really was one of the first requests I had was, hey, you're doing a show with Mookie, get his mom on the show, and you can see where Mookie gets his personality, and that was enjoyable for me to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this one and really enjoyed all 10 of them. Like I told Mookie, hey, we didn't know what to expect going into this. You can do something like this, and it could have been a disaster. But Mookie, I think, made it enjoyable for you guys to listen to and get to know one of the guys you cheer for a little bit better. Get to know his story. I think that's a positive for fans. I think it's a positive for players and for the program. So, glad that we were able to do that, and certainly glad that it was all made possible by the guys at Bruning Law Firm. They were one of the first people we approached when we kind of had the idea to do a show like this, and they jumped right in with both feet. They were excited to partner with Mookie, and so in exchange, what we want to ask you guys to do is show them some support, help them out. If you find yourselves in need of legal help, if you've been injured. They are a personal injury law firm in St. Louis. It's a father and his two sons. The Brunings have been Missouri fans for generations. They all graduated from Missouri. They started this law firm in St. Louis. And so if you find yourself, you've been hurt and you think maybe, hey, there's an avenue there where you deserve something in exchange, they can help you out. You can go to bruninglegal.com. You can do an online consultation there. You can learn a little bit more about what they do and about how they can help you out. So once again, BRUNING legal.com. That is your avenue to get in touch with the Brunings. We hope you do that, and they can help you hopefully right any wrongs that have happened as far as that goes. So thanks to them. Thanks again to you guys for watching or listening. Just ask you one more time, if you are watching on YouTube, just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is our last show with Mookie, but we still got a couple left with Luther Burden, and Mitchell and I may pop on and do some things here and there throughout the summer. So stay in tune. You'll get notifications when we go live on YouTube when we post something new. So check that out. If you're listening on the podcast, just give us a nice review, share what we're doing on social media, all that. And again, the most important thanks certainly to Mookie Cooper for doing this with us for the last 10 weeks. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and who knows, we'll talk to you whatever comes next.